All right. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome in. Give me just a moment. I'm going to switch to the more kind of spooky music to set the mood here. But yeah, so I hope everyone's doing well. This is our part two of Alone Against the Static. Um, looks like not. Yeah, so yeah, so looks like a darn spooky time is ahead of us. Let me go ahead and switch scenes, and there we go. Yes, everything is as it should. There, got a little tongue-tied there. Everything is as it should be. So, um, okay, cool. Looks like audio's doing okay. On the audio side of things, I might actually turn this down just a little bit. There we go. It's gonna kind of wait for folks to trickle in. But today's been a pretty good day so far. I've been looking forward to doing more of this lately. And I had my vacation and then the convention and went to the convention, all that stuff. So this has been on my mind and I don't want to leave it unfinished. I'm really looking forward to seeing like the end of this particular story. Yeah, what I might end up doing if chat is a bit quiet this evening, I might actually just roll dice and see what happens. That's what I'm thinking. I kind of as just in case folks are feeling shy. That's what I'm thinking anyway. Um, just trying to remember what happened last time because it's been a few weeks. Um, if I recall correctly, it was like Alex and her partner Charlie. Actually, let me double check the name. Oh, yeah, it's Charlie. Okay. Yeah, Alex and Charlie made it to the cabin. They watched a spooky videotape. Um, I think Charlie left to head back into town for something, and Alex went on a hike, found a spooky shed, um, stumbled across a diseased deer, and that was pretty freaky. But we succeeded on the check to kind of identify what it was, and it was just a really sick deer. Um, and then where we left off, we made it back to the cabin, and Alex was washing up for the evening. Yeah, I think that sums up pretty much what happened last time. Yeah, that sounds about right. Maybe I should. maybe I could do something where I show what I'm reading as well. You know, that might actually be something for next stream. I'll have to set it up that way. That might be, yeah, I think that'd be a good idea for next stream. Let's try to set it up so that everyone can see what I'm reading as well. That way it's not just all audio. There's the folks the option to also see what I'm reading. Yeah, I think that'd be a good thing to do. That'll have to wait for next time though. Yeah, I'm gonna give it till the end of this song here, and then I'll go ahead and get started. We'll see um, how long I last, because I felt maybe like a little bit of something in my throat today, a little bit of dryness. I don't know. Been kind of recovering from a cold that I picked up from the convention. Just like, yeah, just a little bug, nothing major or anything. But yeah, so gonna wait until the end of this song and then we'll go ahead and get started. Kind of take our time getting the ball rolling today. Um, since I know Wednesday is usually my slow night when it comes to streams, and this is kind of more of a slow, kind of chill paced live stream anyway, when I usually do these sorts of things. All right, so I think it's probably around a good time to start. To get the ball rolling, so to speak. Um, just to kind of refresh everyone's memories, Alex and Charlie, we are playing Alex, who is the woman pictured there. Um, Alex and Charlie are on a getaway in the wilderness to kind of repair their relationship, try to kind of smooth things over, get some time away from everything and all of that. Um, so far, they have made it to the cabin and came across this weird videotape that was, I think, filming Charlie's cousin who owns the cabin, like from afar. And then the TV just got extremely loud as it went to static, freaked them both out. And so far, that's kind of the not the most spookiest thing that's happened so far. Um, where we left off, Charlie had left to pick something up from town, and then Alex went on a walk or a little hike to pass the time and came across a tool shed. Um, and if I remember right, found like, oh yeah, no, she found a bunch of videotapes and that were labeled, and there is the notion that whoever made that videotape that they found in the cabin also filmed all these other tapes. And where we left off, she was getting washed up before going to bed, I believe, or after she came back from her walk. So we're going to continue there. Give me just a moment here. So let me just get my notes all together. All right. So we're on entry 86. I believe we're almost like a third of the way through this whole story. At least if the numbered entries are anything to go off of. But anyway, we'll go ahead and get started. Close the door behind you and turn on the shower faucet. Water cascades into the waiting tub below, filling the room with a constant loud drizzle that is almost reminiscent of white noise. The pressure is lousy without power to the pump, but gravity does most of the work. Thank God the water heater is gas-powered. You pause, remembering that the bathroom door doesn't keep itself shut. You push it closed harder and put the latch on to secure it in place. You step into the shower and wash the morning hike away. I'm going to go ahead and do a little dice roll. Mostly to kind of make the choice, since at the moment chat's a little bit on the quiet side. That's okay. Because like I said earlier, Wednesday is not my busiest day for streaming. It's usually a bit more quiet, a bit more chill, and that's absolutely fine. So we're gonna roll. We're basically gonna flip a coin. So odds, we're gonna stay for a while and enjoy the soak, and evens is gonna be showering quickly and getting out of there. So we'll go ahead and roll that. 1d2. Oh, hey, hi Max. Hello. How's it going? Had to click through all this nonsense. Oh gosh. Vote shower quickly. All right. Well, that's the only vote, so we'll do that. All right. Shower quickly. Go to 92. You get out of the shower and dry off. Step back into the cabin and decide to get dressed. All right. So we have options. We have options for clothing. To put on jeans and a t-shirt. So we can put on jeans and a t-shirt and be practical, or we can put on warm, soft track pants and a sweater and be comfortable. So practical or comfortable. Those are the two options. We can be cozy in a sweater, or we can be just kind of casual in a t-shirt. Jeans, all right. Jeans and a t-shirt. So, going practical. Give me just a moment to mark something here, because neat thing about this little solo scenario adventure is there's a log sheet to kind of mark down different choices and different events. So yeah, t-shirt and jeans, that's going to be considered practical. All right. So, freshly dressed, you feel renewed. Now, what to do with the afternoon while you wait for your partner to return? Hopefully, they have a solution to the power problem. So we can make food. We can make some food. Search for flashlights and batteries. Or we can try and restore the power ourselves. So we've got food, flashlights, or we can try to fix the power. Food. All right, food it is. Hello, Nova. Hello. All right. Head to the kitchenette. You're glad the fridge and stove are powered by gas. Cook up a meal and then enjoy it alone at the little dining table. So now we get to take off well fed on my log sheet here. Which I have a feeling is just going to give us like a buff at some point. Maybe, possibly. At least we won't go start. At least we won't. Well, there. At least we won't go hungry. All right. So we can. Okay. It's. So I. It kind of feels a little silly, but we've got two more choices. We can enjoy the food, or we can pick at the plate unenthusiastically and worry about our situation. We're in a cabin in the middle of the woods. The power is out. Alex's boyfriend is away. Enjoy the food. Yeah, that seems like the obvious option, I suppose. Enjoy the quiche. All right. So 106. Delicious, truly. You are a Michelin level chef. Anyway. Um anyway, and we automatically look for flashlights and batteries. There is a heavy-duty flashlight in the car, but it's gone now. What do you have here in the cabin? Right now, when the sun goes down, you'll be left in the dark. All right. So, we're going to make a spot hidden roll. Our spot hidden is fairly decent. It's a 35, and this is a 100, a D100 system. So a 35% chance that we'll make it. Not the best odds, but we'll give it a try. And that is a failure. All right. So the scenario gives us the option of pushing the roll. Now, pushing the roll is basically we get to roll it again, but the consequences are going to be more severe. So if we fail. So do we want to push the roll or just take the regular failure? No, the food was so good we should have a bonus. Oh, yeah. The book didn't give us a bonus. We can give the roll another shot though, but at a higher cost if we fail. How does that sound? No. Oh. Quiche Lorraine is no match for the elder gods, it would seem. Yes, not even good food can prepare you against the horrors of the endless cosmos. All right, I'm gonna take that as taking the failure. So we're not gonna try to push the roll. Um, we'll just take it. We'll just tank it. In the cupboard beneath the sink, you find a little plastic container with a mini flashlight in it. You switch it on. It works, but the beam is weak. The batteries are probably dead. You look for spares in the pantry, the bathroom, and in the bedside tables, to no avail. Eventually, you give up on searching. All right, so we are well fed, so that means we go to 108. So it looks like making the food first does have an effect on the story. Because otherwise, we'd be going to make some food. Alright, can't think of anything else to do in the cabin. And restlessness is creeping in. For a while, you lie on the sofa and read an old beat-up paperback from a shelf in the corner. You think it's pretty good, but a little flowery and overwritten. Not to mention how grating prose written in the second person can be. So now we make a listen roll. Let's see if Alex is any good at listening. Well, we have a 50 in listen. Ugh, it must have been written by H.P. Lovecraft. What's another writer that was really flowery with prose? I'm drawing a blank right now, but let's do that listen roll. We've got a skill of 50, so we've got a 50-50 shot. Let's go make that roll. Ooh, that is another failure. Oh boy. All right. So, bad at finding, bad at listening. Oh boy. Well, not bad at listening, but our luck is not on our side at all. This motherfucker. We can push this roll and try again. Um, Bad enough he ruined the quiche. It's it's she actually. The character is she her. Push it. All right, we're gonna push that roll. Oh, hot diggity dog! That is an extreme success. That is amazing. All right, so you succeed the push roll. The quiche is also a she her. You hear footsteps outside. They crunch on the gravel driveway. You sit up. You didn't hear a car approach. You stand up nervously and creep across through the window. A balding, middle-aged man is standing just outside the front door. He's dressed in a thick winter coat and has his hands in his pockets. You do not recognize him. He lifts his hand to the cabin door and knocks. So, we have two options. We can pretend nobody's home and wait for him to leave, or we can answer the door. Answer the door. All right. All right. Which way are you leaning, Nova? Do we pretend nobody's home and wait for them to leave, or do we answer the door? Eat the quiche. All right. It's a tie. So I'm going to go ahead and roll a dice to break the tie. So odds is going to be pretend nobody's home. Evens is going to be answer the door. So, drum roll, please. All right, that is odds. So, we're going to pretend nobody's home and wait for the stranger to leave. All right. Classic Gen Z move. Exactly. It's just me and my quiche. You wait for a few moments, then you hear him step away from the door. You move to the window and look out. You see him leaving. He doesn't head down the driveway. He takes the trail that leads into the forest. The same trail you went walking earlier. So, we have two more options. We can follow the stranger, or we can close the door and make sure it's locked. We can follow the stranger, or make sure the door is locked. All right. Lock that shit up. Follow. All right. Another another time for a tiebreaker. All right. Here for chaos. I can respect that 100%. So I'm going to go ahead and do another die roll. Odds, we follow. Um, Evens, we close the door and make sure it's locked. All right, we are locking the door. Gonna lock that shit up tight. You need to make sure the cabin's safe. You check every lock you can find. You pull the door closed and lock it, sliding across the deadbolt to make doubly sure. Poor baby is scared. I mean, I'd be scared too. Then you walk to the bathroom and check the window. You latch it shut too. The other windows in the cabin don't open, and there's just the one door in and out. It all seems safe. So we're going to check off lockdown in the log sheet here. And then Alex here is going to settle for the night. So that's 142. Okay. It's dark. Clouds cover the sky. Let me tell you about that Call of Cthulhu game for the 360. Locking doors was very important. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. When you're in Innsmouth, especially in the chase section, locking doors is very important. But I want to see the bad guys. But the bad guys will kill you or make you go crazy. It's a double-edged sword. But yes, so oh, there is an ad about to start in about 30 seconds, going on 25. So we're going to take a small break here, and we will continue with the consequences of our actions after the break, after the ad is over. So in about 10 seconds. So we'll put a pause on it here for now. And I'll see you when you get back. If it'll tell me how long the ad is. Can't, they can't kill me. I have the power of God and Quiche on my side. It's not giving me a timer for the ad. It was literally telling me an ad break was about to start. Ah, there we go. Ad break ends in 3 minutes. All right, so we're just gonna vibe for a little bit. It is some good and spooky soundtrack we're doing here. Um, maybe I could turn it up a little bit. That should be perfect. There we go. All right. All right, just one more minute here. One more minute. 50 seconds. All right, 30 seconds. All right, 15 seconds before the ad break's done. All right, there we go. Ad break over. Hope everyone had a nice break. Yeah, so we're going to jump right back into it. It's going to give it just an extra moment for it to wrap up, and then here we go. It's dark. Clouds cover the sky, and the moon is hidden. You lay on top of the bed for a while, listening to the wind shaking the branches of the pines all around. Every few minutes, you think you hear your partner arriving back. Every time, you're wrong. When you walk around the cabin, you use your flashlight to guide your way. After a few hours, you make yourself a sandwich and eat it in the dark. While you chew, There is a knock on the door. It is a single knock. Suffocating silence follows it. So we can ignore the knock, or we can answer the door. So we can ignore the knock or answer the door. Answer. All right. All right, we're going to go ahead and get ready to answer the door here. As I'm scrolling through the book, I'm seeing the most like spooky pictures. It's like, oh boy, wonder if that's going to happen. You set the sandwich aside and swallow. You walk to the door, the flashlight guiding your way. Hello? You ask. You open the door. Darkness. The flashlight spreads a cone of dim light out into the night. The wind and the cold wash over you. Make note of this entry number. You may need to return to it. All right. So we're going to make a sanity roll. And then, because we got lumberjack marked off in the log sheet, we get to spot an item. All right. So sanity roll first. Let's roll that sanity. That is a failure, so we lose 1 point of sanity. So that's going to put us at 47 out of the 50 we originally had. Oh, and I forgot. No, wait. There we go. Okay. I forgot. I have my number pad hotkeyed, so. All right. Yeah. So we lose up 1 point of sanity. We have 47. 47 sanity now. All right. And then. All right. And then we spot an item because we had lumberjack checked off in our log sheet here. Give me just a moment to make a note of the number. There. All right. All right. You stand in the open door for a moment, leaning.
It's time to release the autism creature.
Oh, is it gonna do it? Looks like it decided not to automatically kick in. Oh, did I forget? No. BeagleBot is on. Okay. Give me just a moment. I thought it was automatic. Oh wait, no, it's not automatic. I'm sorry. I guess I forgot it wasn't automatic. Give me just a moment. I'll go ahead and switch. Oh no, you're good. I love the autism creature, so it's totally fine. And you certainly look and be the autism creature. Oh no, I'll switch to the autism creature. I guess I forgot that it wasn't automatic, so it's yeah. All right. Yeah, you're fine. I don't mind the interruption. Ooh, excuse me. Stand in the open door for a moment, leaning out of the cabin. You see the firewood pile nearby, as well as the axe you found earlier, resting against the cabin door. Suspicion, paranoia, or some combination of the two compel you to act. You take the axe and place it by the door inside the cabin. So now we have close to hand to check off here. There we go. There we go. And then we go back inside the cabin. You shut the door and make sure it is locked. You even shove against it to make sure it won't budge. It doesn't. Feeling safer now, you walk back into the center of the room. You wait. Time drifts by. The night grows longer. The cabin gets colder. Eventually, you use the flashlight to head back to the bed and get under the covers, rubbing your arms and legs to stay warm. Upon the cabinet at the foot of the bed, the television turns on. Maybe the power is back. Alright, so now we check down, lockdown, that's already there. So we can turn on the lights, or we can turn off the TV. Or I should rephrase that. We can turn on the lights or turn off that awful TV. Because I'm assuming it's at full volume, just like it was before. Lights. Alright, let's turn on the lights. You reach across to the bedside lamp and flick the switch. Nothing. You get out of bed and use the flashlight to find the light switch on the wall. Nothing. You cross the cabin and step into the bathroom. You flick the switch. Nothing. Nothing. Just the TV, tuned to the VCR, displaying slightly illuminated black. And now we inspect the TV. It's quiet. The VCR is purring. The TV is dim. Alright. So we go to 187. You produce the tape you found in the dilapidated shed. The title, written in black marker pen on the label, reads, "The Quiet in the Evening." Take the tape to the television set and sit on your knees to reach the VCR. So we can play the tape, or we can put the tape away. Play the tape. All right. 7 days. All right. You insert the tape and press play. The screen flutters for a moment. Then, the sounds of the forest come in. This tape looks to have also been made with a handheld camcorder. The person recording is looking at a campfire. Flames are licking around a wet log. The sizzle and crack of wood merges with the rustle of surrounding trees. After a few moments of this, you hear a voice. It's a man's voice with a strange, sing-song tone that reminds you of adult presenters on kids' television. "It's so nice and quiet here at night," the voice says. You're pretty sure it belongs to whoever is holding the camera. "Alone with my thoughts. Not a care in the world, I must say. The banality of this lonely self talk creeps you out. The camera jolts to the left. It is now centered on the tree line, right on the edge of the light from the fire, where the forest plunges into darkness. Hello? The man says. There is nothing but the quiet crackling of the fire. Hello? He stands up. He walks closer to the forest. Is someone out there? Faintly, somewhere in the dark, you hear the muted sound of shouting. What did you say? The cameraman calls. Again, the muted sounds of yelling. The cameraman stands, staring into the dark for a few moments longer. Then, hastily, he turns the camera down to face his boot-clad feet, strides back to his camp, and crawls into his tent. Panting, he quickly zips the entrance flap up. The tape ends. To rewind the tape and raise the volume to try and hear the muted voice. Okay, so we can rewind the tape and try to hear the voice, or we can eject the tape. So we can try to hear the muted voice, or we can eject the tape and stop watching it. Hear the madness. Oh boy, howdy. All right. You rewind the tape, watching as the images flash in reverse before you. You stop at the part where the man turns the camera toward the forest. You crank the volume to the max. Hello, the man says. You hear a very quiet voice yelling out in the dark. Hello? He stands up. He walks close to the forest. Is someone out there? And then we make a listen roll. Extreme success. All right. You strain your ears. The reply is faint, made in a haggard voice. It's eating me. What did you say? The cameraman calls back. Again, the haggard, horrid, screaming voice replies, It's eating me. The cameraman stands staring into the dark for just a few moments longer. Then, hastily, he turns the camera down to his boot-clad feet and strides back to his camp and crawls into his tent. You hear the distant voice call out one last time. Help me! It's everywhere! I can't... The tape ends. Hi, River. Hi, Rivers. How's it going? Just in time for us to make a sanity roll. We've got spooky videotape shenanigans going on. So let's make that sanity roll. That is a success. All right. So that's a success. We only lose 1 point of sanity. Thank you for the hydrate. Thank you for the hydrate, Rivers. All right, we might need to return to this one, it looks like. So I'm going to make a note of it. All right. Okay. You feel a cold knot in your stomach. You swallow against it. You eject the tape. You manage to hold yourself together, but only just. We go back to 186. All right. So, we have... Looks like we have two options. We can play the tape from last night, which is a different tape, or we can leave the TV alone. So, what's happened is the power's out, the TV mysteriously turned itself on while the power is still out. No other lights are working. We watched a videotape where a man in the woods heard somebody screaming for help and saying that something was eating him. And we have the option of playing a different tape from last night, or we can leave the TV alone. I'll give everyone a moment to consider the options. We're going for maximum chaos. All right. I'm thinking. I think you know my vote. Yeah, I'm thinking that's one vote for playing the other tape, and I don't think anyone opposes. Let me give a few more seconds for folks to send their answers in. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna say no. Doesn't seem like there's any opposing votes, so we're gonna play the tape from last night. Um, it's funny because earlier I was like, "Oh, we're only on number 86. We're like, one third through the adventure." I was mistaken. I forgot that the numbered entries for these sorts of like choose your own adventure stories um, jump all over the place. So I I don't know how close to the end of the story we are, but things are getting spooky. So I think it's about to get we're about to kind of reach that conflict, or at least the point where the monster will soon be revealed. Who knows? The tape from last night is still sitting in the little cabinet. Call it morbid curiosity, or just a desire to understand what is going on. But you take up the tape and slide it into the VCR. You turn the volume all the way down. You don't want a repeat of the speaker blasting static from last night. You press play. The tape begins from where it left off the night before. Static. Thunderous white noise, muted by your fingers on the volume dial. Then the tracking on the tape flickers. Jagged white and silver lines horizontal across the tape. It looks like the tape had more footage to show you when you turned it off last night. And then we get to check familiar face on the log sheet. Okay. So we'll do that. All right. So we can adjust the tracking on the tape, or we can let the tape play. So we can adjust it, or we can let it play. Adjust tracking. All right. Going to give folks a few more seconds to call their votes in. All right. Let's adjust that tracking. 222. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. That snuck up on me. I apologize. um, You fiddle with the track buttons. Watch that that made me jump. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Um you fiddle with the track buttons, watching the jagged silvery lines drift up and off the screen. They reveal the image of a man's face in close up. He isn't looking at the camera. He's fiddling with something beneath it. You realize he is setting up a tripod. The camera is recording. He bobs down, out of frame, and you can hear him adjusting the tripod legs as the camera looks behind him. Across a clearing with a campsite, into the woods. Between the trees stands a tall, shadowy figure, pixelated, but humanoid and dark. Then it's hidden behind the guy who is fiddling with the tripod, smiling as he walks into frame. He is wearing a fluorescent hunting jacket and a beanie. He stands back and looks at the camera, then smiles and turns to the clearing. He has set up a little campfire and tiny two-man tent. He squats by the fire, snapping sticks in half and tossing them into the flames. While looking at the camera, his lips are moving. The thing you saw between the trees is no longer there. Excuse me for just a moment. I think my cats are getting up to shenanigans. I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Hold music. Tire band holds to a B flat for way too long. Oh my gosh. All right, sorry for the wait. What happened was it wasn't cats. It was my mother-in-law counting quarters. Don't forget, I I did not turn off your be right back screen. I did not turn the BRB screen on cuz I didn't think I'd be gone for too long. And then I had to use the restroom, so I was like, "You know what? Fuck it. I'll do my business." Anyway, So, spooky video. Um, so we have two options. We can adjust the volume, or we can continue to watch the tape muted. So we can turn the volume up, or we can keep watching it. Adjust the volume. All right. I'm going to give folks a few moments to submit their answers if there's anyone in disagreement. Seems pretty unanimous so far. All right, let's adjust that volume. You turn the volume dial and his words become clear. Love the sound of. Oh my gosh. Oh no, the ads. Oh wait, no. Ads didn't start yet. They're going to start in like 5 minutes. Okay. Sorry, I. Bleh, 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 bleh. Anyway, you turn the volume dial and his words become clear. Out 5 days now, I think. He looks up and around at the pines on the edge of the clearing. It's beautiful. I'm expecting my friends any day now. The man stands up, looking down at the fire. Flames are keeping me warm, keeping me prepared. He turns the camera again and he gestures to his tent. It gets cold at night. I think soon, though, that won't matter. He moves to the tent and unzips it. He sticks his head and arms in and forges around for a few moments. He comes out of the tent holding a manila folder, the kind you see people store documents in at offices. He walks back to the camera and takes a seat in front of it. The frame is tight around his face. The figure looks directly down the lens, right at you. He says something, but it's too soft to hear. So we can rewind the tape and turn the volume up, or we can leave the tape running. Quiche. I'm sorry, Nova, but quiche is not an option. I agree, leave the quiche running. So we can rewind the tape and turn the volume up, or we can leave the tape running. Um, Sounds like one vote for keeping the tape running. Fuck it, rewind, let's deep dive. All right. Hell yeah. Let's uncover the dark horrors. All right, let's do it. You rewind the tape. You turn the volume up. It's uncomfortably loud. You press play. You see the man walk back toward the camera and take a seat in front of it. He's so close you can hear his breathing. He looks directly down the lens, right at you. "This is the blessing of the child," he whispers. Now that he is up close, you notice something weird about his eyes. He has a little series of pustules sprouting around the rim of his eyelid, almost directly along the same spot where his eyelashes grow. They vary in size, but look sore, yellow, and wet. We have veterinarian checked in the log sheet, so we're going to a specified entry. Oh, hello, hi tape. Good to see you. You came in just in time for spooky Cthulhu shit. All right, going back to it. We're literally playing a tape. I know. It's just who we need. Oh, yeah. Our hero. Alright, getting back to it. It looks remarkably like the deer you saw in the forest earlier that day. The same kind of sores, same kind of strange, sickening disease. But you'd assume it was some sort of sickness contracted by animals, not people. Your stomach churns as the man twists and reveals the pustules in all their glory. The man holds up the folder and smiles. Everything here, just as yesterday. Everything I wrote down after that first dream. He puts the folder in his lap, out of sight, and looks down. You hear the folder open and papers rustle. I'll read it again, he says. Words that came to me in my sleep. He smiles at the camera, proud, and gestures to the clearing behind him. This exact spot. I saw it every night. Every single night. He's giddy now. He looks down at his papers and begins to read. It comes in the face of those it has taken, those it has brought into the fold. By the light of the sun. Oh, I think ads might have started playing. I'm not sure. My little notification thing disappeared. No ads here? Okay. Sorry, I guess Twitch is just being wonky. Never mind. I'll start over. The man holds up the folder and smiles. Everything here just as yesterday. Everything I wrote down after that first dream. He puts the folder in his lap. Out of sight and looks down. You hear the folder open and papers rustle. I'll read it again, he says. Words that came to me in my sleep. He smiles at the camera, proud, and gestures to the clearing behind him. This exact spot. I saw it every night. Every single night. He's giddy now. He looks down at his papers and begins to read. It comes in the face of those it has taken, those it has brought into the fold. By the light of the sun, it is hidden, clad in the skin of the familiar. He clears his throat, then continues. By night it walks free, a student of the earth, a venom and cure of the forest, drawing from deep in the soil. These black hills are its flesh today. Every tree is a hair. Its followers are those dictated by the rule of time. Mikhail, Homer, Olivia, Darcy. He pauses here and points excitedly to the paper. That's me, he adds, then goes on reading. Marcus, Charlie, Alex, Rachel, Isaac. Darcy pauses. He looks darkly at the camera. Charlie? He asks. Alex? He leans in close to the camera. The entire screen now is just his eye, ridden with pustules. Are you coming home? The screen smashes to white noise, and the room fills with crackling static. It's time to make a sanity roll. All right. So we have a 46 sanity left. Let's see what happens. That is a success. Alex is somehow keeping it together. um, yeah, she's somehow keeping it together. We're gonna see what happens. You shove your. Ugh! Oh my god. That yippee caught me off guard. Oh my gosh. Um, all right, getting back to it. You shove your fingers in your ears and smack the stop button of the VCR with your elbow. The cabin falls silent again. The television set sits there, glowing quietly. You remove your hands from your ears, but your heart is still thundering in your chest. His words. How did he know those names? How did he know you? Give me just a moment to scroll over to the next entry. All right. So, uh, yeah, the only option left is to leave the TV alone. So we're going to go ahead and go to that. You turn away from the television set and cross over to the bed. You sit down and try to avoid looking at it. You can hear it humming ever so softly. So we have two options. We can head to sleep, or we can step out onto the porch and look one last time for Charlie, wherever he is. I have a feeling that something bad has happened to Charlie. Porch? All right. All right, sounds like we're all in agreement for the porch. You follow your flashlight beam to the cabin door and open it. It's dark and cold outside. The wind drifts past the clearing in front of the cabin, down the driveway to the road hidden by the forest. You shine the flashlight left, then right. There's no sign of your partner. You are obviously being optimistic. If there were any cars out here, you'd hear them a mile out. And now we make a listen roll. And that is a failure. All right. You hear nothing. You see nothing. Your partner hasn't made it back. Hopefully, they're held up somewhere and will arrive at some point during the night. Still, you can't help but fear the worst. You go back inside and close the door behind you. A half second later, something slams against it. The collision is loud. The door shudders. You hear a roar of anger and the sound of fists beating against wood. The wooden frame begins to splinter. Someone is screaming bloody murder and trying to get inside. So we can try to secure the door, we can grab something to defend ourselves with, or we can try and hide. We have three options now. So secure the door, defend, or hide. Oh yeah, it turned around quick. Defend. All right. You search around for something, anything to defend yourself with. Um, we do have that axe, so that does kick into play. The axe, the one you found by the front door. You brought it inside, thank God. You hurry over to where it rests up against the wall and take the massive weapon in your hands. It's heavy, But as soon as you lift it, you feel a certainty that you've leveled the playing field against this lunatic. You step forward, brandish the weapon, and take up position just in front of the door. A few seconds later, it bursts open and the stranger steps inside. He charges straight at you. And we get to check overkill in the log sheet. The stranger is bigger than you. He is crazed, wild, and violent. He thrashes with empty hands at the air around him as he crosses the room in large, rapid strides, closing the distance. And it is almost time for ads again. So we will find out what happens in just a moment. The ads are about to start in 10 seconds. So I will see you all when we come back. At least that's what Twitch was telling me. Is Twitch being weird? It was telling me ads were about to start, and Twitch has been weird for me too. Oh, okay. Never mind. I guess we'll just keep going. Um, Ads apparently do not want to play today, and you know what? That's fine. That's valid. um, okay, that almost threw me off my game a little bit. Oh yes, so oh there we go. Ads just kicked in. All right, so we're just gonna pause for ads really quick. Take a moment to breathe in the intensity. Crazed lunatics barging into cabins at this time of night, at this time of year, in the Black Hills, straight into an axe. It's more likely than you think. All right, just a few more seconds now. 20 seconds. All right, 5 seconds. All right, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Gonna give just a moment for everyone to get through the ads, and then we're gonna jump right back into it. All right. So, the stranger is bigger than you. He's crazed, wild, and violent. Thrashes with empty hands at the air around him as he crosses the room in large, rapid strides, closing the distance. We have two options. We can try and get out of the way, or we can attack him as he approaches. So we can dodge or attack. A dodge or attack. All right, we can dodge or attack. I am actually going to go ahead and punch. All right. I'm going to go ahead and attack. Punch. All right. You lash out at the stranger. We're going to make a brawl roll. Hold on, I gotta double check my place here. Okay. Oh, okay. Sorry, I got a little lost on the page there. Okay. We're gonna punch, and we're going to make a fighting brawl roll. Fortunately, that is a skill of 55. So a little bit better than 50-50 chance. Let's heckin' go. That is a failure. Oh boy. Even in an inferior position, the stranger is too fast for you. He whirls about and your attack swings wide. What, while you're recovering, he snarls, lunges, and drives his fist into your gut. You crumple up and stagger back. All the wind has been immediately knocked out of you. The stranger bellows in celebration. You steady yourself, then look up to see him approaching you again, fists flailing. You realize with a start that during the scuffle, the two of you swapped positions. You are now between him and the door. There's no way you're staying. You spin around and sprint away from the cabin, out into the woods. The stranger's howls of fury grow fainter as you vanish into the night. We take 1d4 damage. Oh, maximum damage. All right. So we have 9 hit points left. We are wounded. Um, and it is time to run. Okay, let's make a note of that spot, actually. 274. All right. Okay. You dash out into the night, running as far and fast as your body can manage. The cold air burns your lungs. The surrounding trees sound alien as they rustle, making you all the more terrified. Every few minutes, you emerge from the trees to a section of dirt road. You keep praying that you'll see your partner's car arriving, but deep in your soul, you know it won't come. After almost an hour of mad flight, you come to a crossroads. You recognize it from your journey up to the cabin. You're not sure which direction leads to the highway and which leads deeper into the woods. The forest feels inescapable. It's time to make a navigate roll. Um, we have a navigate skill of 40. The odds are a little bit against us, but let's give it a shot. That is a success. You pick one pathway and follow it. Even after hurrying on for what feels like ages, you can't tell if you made the right call. The flashlight you carry is the only way you can see your surroundings. The only thing you can tell is that the forest is quieter here. Eventually, you start to tire. You're also getting seriously cold. You lean against a tree and catch your breath. You try to catch your breath, but it doesn't seem to work. Your hand slides down to the base of the tree, and you collapse down against its roots. You suck air over and over. Your lungs feel icy. Despite the horrible situation you find yourself in, your eyelids feel heavy. You're not sure how long you wait, but it is some time until you feel as though you can get back to your feet. You stand slowly, teeter, but manage to forge on. Right now you just need to put distance between yourself and the chaos you escaped from. When the sun rises, you'll be able to reassess and begin to find your way back to civilization. And we take 1 point of damage. Pine needles and dirt crunch under your feet as you walk. You make progress, but with every step, you feel yourself growing wearier. You need to find somewhere to rest. Maybe some high ground would be good, or should you look for a grotto? Anywhere sheltered would be best, right? Just as you spot a cluster of trees where it looks like you'll be able to rest and stay dry, you hear a faint hiss from behind you. What was it? Static? Was the sound static? Adrenaline surges through your system. We have two options. We can investigate the sound or run like hell. So we can investigate or we can run. Alright, we've got one vote for investigate. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Hell yeah, that's the right attitude. Alright. Time to investigate. You turn to face the direction the sound came from. You can't hear it anymore. Hello? You ask the darkness. It does not reply. You direct your flashlight in front of you. Its light reveals tree trunks, stones, and fallen logs. Nothing unusual. Your flashlight flickers. Your heart jumps to your throat. Have the batteries died already? You shake and slap the lens, and the beam stabilizes. Nice and solid. Whew. Lucky you took the time to find new batteries. You search the area in front of you more carefully. The strong light keeps the shadows at bay. It makes you feel more secure. After a more thorough look, you confirm that there's nothing lurking around you. Still, something tells you it's best not to linger here for too long. You stride onwards, using the flashlight beam to navigate between treacherous tree roots and sharp rocks. After a few minutes of walking, you spot a small clearing through the trees up ahead. You push towards it, snapping through thick brambles and branches as you go. When you emerge into the clearing, you spot a small tent and a fire pit set up in the center. Looks like somebody is camping here. You might have found help. All right. So we do have familiar face checked. So that means something is going to happen. A sense of deja vu washes over you. This campsite. It's the same one. You hear a rustling from inside the tent. Your noisy arrival clearly woke up whoever's inside. A sing-song voice calls out, "Hello?" Your stomach sinks. You recognize that voice. The tent flap unzips, and the same man steps out. He's even wearing the same clothes. He looks towards you, hesitates, then nods. You notice that his eyes show no sign of surprise. So we can respond to him politely, or we can respond to him aggressively. What are you thinking? Polite or aggressive? Politely? All right. We're not savages. That is true. Yes, we are. Damn, you're right. Oh, gosh. All right, so that makes it a tie. So I'm going to go ahead and flip a coin. Odds, we're going to be polite. Evens, we're going to be rude. Even. So we're going to be rude. We're gonna tell him that we're gonna tell him that his mom's a hoe in a Call of Duty lobby. That's how we're gonna be rude. What the hell is going on? Please calm down, the man says, holding his hands up, defensive. Please. Calm? Screw you. Tell me who the hell you are. He pauses and licks his lips. I'm the one who can hear it. What the hell does that mean? The child, he says. It speaks to me. You better start talking some goddamn sense. The child of the forest, he says. When it weeps, it sounds like static. You fall silent. The man smiles, nodding. You've heard it too, haven't you? You hesitate. Hey, DJ. Hello. Hello, hello. All right. So we are playing Alex. So we go to another specific spot.
Hello there.
Twitch removed my follow from you? What the heck? Oh my gosh. What the heck indeed? Why would Twitch do that? Oh my gosh. Well, thank you for the follow again, DJ. Um, oh, WoW is updating. Oh gosh. Here to lurk. Oh, hell yeah. Actually, I better check and make sure I don't need to install an update too. It's updating quick. Oh, okay. I'm not worried then. All right. Oh yeah, it'll be fine. It's fine. All right. Getting back to it. Alex, he says. You freeze. How do you know who I am? The child told me. It just wants a family, Alex. That's what we can give to it. That voice in the static, you ask? The child, yes. All right. So we've got a lot of options here. I have no clue what's happening, but I'm a lurk. Have fun. All right. Thank you for the lurk, DJ. Okay. So we have a lot of options here. We're depending on how investigative everyone's feeling. So we can ask what the child is. Excuse me. So we can ask what it is. Um, we can ask more about what it wants. We can ask the stranger how he knows all this stuff. We can ask if he's the guy we've seen around. Um, and then, or we can tell him that he's talking nonsense, or we can ask him how we can leave safely. Now, the last two are if we're done talking to him. But we can ask him questions, or we can tell him he's nuts. Let's ask about the child. All right. Yeah, and we'll be coming back to this list of options too. So we'll go ahead and ask him about the child. The child, you say, it wants a family? The man nods. It's spent uncountable years alone. It sees past, present, and future. It has tried so desperately to adapt to the technology of our world, but has failed. It just wants people to be with it, here, in its home. He gestures around. All right. Let's you know what, let's double whammy it. Let's ask what the child is. You keep calling it a child, you say. What actually is it? The man smiles. Something ancient. I know. A strange name for one so old. I believe it was birthed from Mother Earth herself. It exists alone in the wild places of the world. It's lonely and aching. Okay, I'm gonna go with asking him how he knows all about it, and we're gonna ask him if he's the man that we've seen around. Just gonna include all the questions in there, but rather than just going back and forth. Um, so yeah, so we're gonna ask him how he knows all this. It is a burden, this knowledge. The man smiles. I came to this place years ago. I brought my camera. I wanted to document the wild, but I found something far more important to document. Something beyond comprehension. I found that the child could somehow manipulate the magnetic particles in my videotapes to show me visions of the future. He smiles wide, and so far, they have all come to pass. The child exists beneath the earth, in the soil, in the trees, and in the pine needles at her feet. The power of the earth all around it lets it smell and taste and touch anyone who encounters it, whether they have already or not. What do you mean, you ask? It sees the future? For the child, there is only now, and now is everything all at once. It's why it was waiting for you. He says, in my time here, the child has shown me many things, all stored in my tapes. I've kept them and labeled them and tried to categorize them as best I could. All right, so we're going to ask him if he's the guy we've seen around here. You are the guy I've seen around? He pauses, thinking, it may have been me, or rather, a version of me. What? I've given myself to the child. He says, I'm in its family now. If it wishes, the child can take my form. Indeed, the child takes many forms, those of its victims, past and future. So now that we've asked him questions, we can tell him he's talking nonsense, or we can ask him how we can leave safely. So we can tell him he's talking nonsense, or we can ask him how to leave. Let's be that horrible protagonist. Oh, you're crazy. Yeah, let's go for it. I'm feeling that vibe. I think it fits. I think it fits. You shake your head. This is nonsense. Trust me, he pleads. I was doubting at first as well, but the child showed me I could have so much more. He steps towards you. You step back. I need to leave, you say. Wait, a voice cries from behind you. And we recognize that it's Charlie's voice. You spin away from the man. There, standing on the edge of the clearing, is Charlie. Their clothes are flaked with mud and dirt, and there are twigs caught in their hair. But they're here. They're alive. And they're smiling at you. Honey, they say, it's okay. So we can run to Charlie with open arms, or we can hesitate. Open arms or hesitate. Open arms. All right. Let's heck and go. You dash across the clearing and cling to Charlie. Oh my god, I've been so worried. You hold them close against you. Charlie hugs you back. I know you have. Don't worry. Everything is going to be okay now. We're all together now. You feel Charlie's hand stroking at the back of your head. You pull away. You don't have time for this right now. Charlie, where's the car? We must get out of here. We have to go. Now. Charlie looks back at you sadly and shakes their head. No, honey, we can't go. We have to stay here. The way Charlie speaks is all wrong. Standing closer now, you notice 1,000 subtle details that don't fit with the person you know. This isn't Charlie. I know you're nervous. I tried to explain everything, but I just don't think there's much point. They raise their arms and open them wide. I'll just show you. All right. You can't bring yourself to answer. Your mouth just opens and shuts like a fish's. Charlie watches you for a long time, then bows their head. Your heart drops. I need you, Alex, Charlie's voice says, but this time it comes from behind you. You spin around and see that the man who crawled out of the tent, body unchanged, is now wearing Charlie's face. There's two of them now. They're on either side of you. I need you like I needed Charlie, they say, and when they speak, their voices merge, overlay, and bleed static. You're here now. We can be together, we three, we four, all of us. Please, come with me. Time to make a sanity roll. That is an extreme success. Alex is a fucking trooper. Holy shit. Um, so we can agree or we can refuse. Agree or refuse. Refuse. Hell yeah. No, you say. I don't want that. What? I don't care what you or anybody else says about the child. I want to go home. I want to leave. You see your partner's face fall. I'm sorry, honey. I'm sorry I couldn't make it painless. Your partner's face bulges. Pine needles sprout from their cheeks and emerge, covered in blood. Their mouth opens, and a thick, fleshy tentacle laced with pale blue veins and coated in saliva unfurls. You hear your partner's voice screaming. The child is given form. From its flesh emerges a true manifestation. A dozen more voices join the noise. They're laughing, shrieking, and crying. They're chanting something, a name. They repeat it again and again. Ush-Tika. Ush-Tika. Your partner steps closer. Clothing sloughs away from their body as their chest spills open into a sphincter-like maw, from which echoes a horrid swarming hail of static. We can run or we can fight. Which are we doing? We have 8 hit points. Yeah, I'm actually going to restart this song here because the title's really fitting. Um, the title of the song is There Are Some Things Worse Than Ghosts. So we're just going to play that again. But yeah, we have 8 hit points. We can run or we can fight. Run like hell? Alright. I'm going to go ahead and run. You take one last look at your partner's body. It's disintegrating, turning into something foul before your eyes. There's nothing left you can do for them. It doesn't matter how you feel about them, what you wanted for them. Some greater force has decided for you. All you can do now is run. You race for the edge of the clearing. You can make it out if you're fast enough. You hear the warped sound of your partner's voice calling after you, but you don't turn to look back. Then you hear heavy, slamming footsteps fast approaching. We're going to make a dexterity roll. We have a dexterity of 65. Let's see if we can make it. That is a success. You run through the forest. You jump logs, duck, under low hanging branches, deftly deftly avoid the moss-ridden stones. For a while you hear the sounds of pursuit, but terror, rage, and anguish pushes you to run for far longer than you ever have before. Eventually the sounds of pursuit fade. You keep running, tears streaming down your face. You run for hours. You only stop when the sun rises. By the light of the new day, you find your way through the trees back to the main road. You walk, haggard, for hours. Sometime in the mid-afternoon, when the autumn sun is beginning to dip, you are picked up by a passing trucker. He stares at you curiously and asks repeatedly if you are all right. You never answer him. You ask to be dropped in the center of town, but he drops you at the police station. Doesn't matter. It'll do. You head inside. Days pass in a blur of hospital visits, police reports, and soul-sucking interviews with smiling psychologists who assure you they're only there to help. Search teams go into the Black Hills to try and find your partner. They don't find anyone, but you never really thought they would. They do eventually find your car. Even though it has your license plate, the searchers say it can't have been the same vehicle. It was rusted, covered in moss, and looked as though it had been abandoned in the forest for years. You find no reprieve, even in rest. When you sleep, you dream only of the forest, the lonely trees, the wet soil, and the endless night sky. But there's a strange, budding warmth in your belly that makes everything seem fine. Somewhere out there is screaming, a chanting, the wind that unsettles the trees. The breeze makes the pine needles dance across the forest floor. Then there's the static, a cacophony of sound running together, blending to create a long, all-encompassing drone. It fills your head, your very being. The static is all. Then, suddenly, the warmth within your stomach explodes. Your flesh tears, yet there's no pain nor blood. You watch in horror as the gnarled branches of some ancient tree emerge from your stomach, all the while twisted roots encircle your bones, crushing and cracking them. You try to scream, but only static emerges. As the static fills you and everything around you, the last thing you are aware of is the endless sea of stars above you, the cold stars, then darkness. The darkness lifts. The light of dawn brings you to wake. You don't recall how much time has passed. It might be years later, or could it be years earlier? Somewhere in the forgotten wild, you stir. You see the ancient forest around you. The pine needles feel like carpet on the ground. It's all warm and familiar. The wind flutters through the Black Hills to a place where no bears, rabbits, or birds even ever tread. The trees shiver in the final moments of summer, and beneath the moist earth, you shift. Dead branches and fresh soil fall away from you as you emerge. Human again, you rise from the damp earth and breathe. You blink and hear the call of your master. The child awaits you. You have successfully completed the story and have been reborn to serve the child, as you will be again and again, for all eternity. The end. The end. What an ending. That fucking child. And that is Alone Against the Static. I hope everyone had fun. I know I did. I was hoping for the secret quiche ending, though. Yeah, no quiche ending, unfortunately. But hey, we did make it to the end. I had like I had maybe a small suspicion that this would be a three-parter, but nope, two parts. But oh boy, what an ending. That was a lot of fun. All right, so I am going to go ahead and end stream here because that was a lot of talking and I got to rest my voice a little bit. Um but thank you everybody for everyone that participated, everyone that lurked, and just everyone that hung out. Thank you all for stopping by. Um, I appreciate all of you. And yeah, this was a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to doing another Call of Cthulhu stream like this again. Um, maybe I'll make it another community goal, and this time I'll make the goal kind of larger because I know everyone just has a bunch of channel points saved up. Like for a while, I know everyone's saying like, "Oh, I have however many thousand points saved up." So I might have to I might have to fix up my point redeems
Baba Booey.
or maybe like add in a few more. I have so many sounds and they're all fun sounds, but I kind of want to do more with them. Have 7.8k exactly. So many points. Also, hi, hello. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and find somebody to raid, and I am gonna call it a night. Like an oh shoot, just as all right. Oh man, ad break kicked in.